Welcome to New Light Living Podcast. I'm Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. This video is a galactic astrology reading of the Aquarius full moon at 17 degrees 0 minutes on August 9th, 2025. Welcome. What I do in these videos, I put an outer layer of fixed stars, celestial bodies, and galactic points to the traditional Western tropical astrology wheel. And that is to help us expand into connecting with our multidimensional self and our galactic self. And this Aquarius full moon is very much focused on integrating that galactic self into our daily lives. And we're going to talk much more about that in this video. What you'll receive in this video are 3 energetic themes that I've pulled out from the full moon chart. And also at the end, you'll receive 3 questions should you want to integrate this Aquarius full moon energy some more. The Aquarius full moon is trine the Orion constellation and the fixed star Rigel at 17 degrees of Gemini. And the Orion constellation have been in the highlight for a long time. And this time at the Aquarius full moon, at 17 degrees of Aquarius, we have a beautiful trine supporting our integration of our new Aquarian age expanded view and perspective on ourselves. So this is a beautiful trine that is supporting us to expand on inner abundance. The ruler of this full moon is Uranus, and Uranus is still at 1 degree of Gemini, conjunct Sedna, dwarf planet Sedna, and also Pleiades star clusters. So the highlight here on this bundle is significant and is a way shower type of energy for the future. So this full moon is something to really pay attention to, as every full moon is encouraging us to release. It's a culmination of something. And here at this Aquarian full moon, we are releasing new high frequency energy codes within ourselves so that to support us to evolve into a multi-dimensional being and recognize ourselves as such. This Aquarius full moon is reminding us that even if we have a way of living here on Earth, and each one of us have our own routine that we are going through, this is a full moon that's encouraging us to refresh those routines, to support a higher frequency type of living. And what I mean with that is that anything that weighs us down, that we are doing because we have to, is not really encouraged to be supported anymore. The higher frequency type of living is a routine that is supportive of our own inner abundance, our own inner creativity, and our own inner flow and inner peace. So any lower frequency ways of being, we are invited to release at this Aquarian full moon, to invite these higher frequency energy codes. These higher frequency energy codes within ourselves to become more available to us. This time of reinvention, integration is an opportunity for a huge turnaround for us individually, but also for the collective. At this Aquarius full moon, we are going even deeper, the next level of depth within ourselves to reinvent ourselves by adding additional perspective of who we truly are, how big our soul is, and our soul journey experiences and what they actually mean to us in our daily life. And with that invitation, we become more present to our daily lives and the little things in life, even as little as one breath at a time. This is a time to discover and go deeper with our inner garden, our inner abundance, and form a relationship with that inner garden so that we can step out of the routines and things that we maintain that may be of lower frequency. With this Aquarius full moon, we are now in a process of integrating our galactic self. And that comes with a heightened awareness about our soul journey at a cosmic level. That will also encourage us to make a deeper commitment to ourselves in terms of love. It will also encourage us to expand our divine feminine qualities within, to come to a further balance between masculine feminine energies within ourselves. The sign of Aquarius and the qualities that comes with the Aquarian age are very focused on equality and everything balance. So that is also some guidance for us what to focus on at this Aquarius full moon. This entire process of galactic self-integration is an exercise in remembering who we truly are. And beyond our current life here on Earth, there is a magnificent journey to tap into and draw experiences from at the soul level. So enjoy this Aquarius full moon and the journey that it allows us to have, and the journey that we're taking on now, the second half of 2025, and the journey expanding our inner garden, our inner abundance. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my Galactic Alignments Reference Guide. There's a link in the pinned comment and description box below. Before we dive into the full moon chart, I'd like to share what the energetic themes are. The first theme is commitment to love. And here we're going to talk about the fixed star TauCeti in the Cetus constellation, asteroid Ceres and Juno, and also dwarf planet Orcus. The second theme is galactic self-integration. And here we're going to talk about a powerful double kite now activated by transiting Mars and Mercury in retrograde. And also we have Chiron in retrograde that also plays a role. And we're diving deeper into Chiron retrograde's role here for the rest of the year in the members only video, Unlocking Soul Keys. The third theme is divine feminine expansion. And here we're going to talk about the fixed star Sirius A in the Canis major constellation, and also the role that Venus has at this Aquarius full moon. So first, let's dive into the full moon chart and then each of the energetic themes after that. And lastly, the questions. So here we have the full moon chart. And as you can see here, the moon and the sun are in opposition there at 17 degrees and 0 minutes in Aquarius and Leo, respectively. And also the trine here to Orion constellation and the fixed star Rigel at 17 degrees of Gemini. And with Uranus now in Gemini, conjunct Sedna there at 1 degree of Gemini, conjunct the Pleiades at 0 degree of Gemini. This is a powerful highlight on the sign of Gemini, this Aquarian full moon. This is also a nod to the air signs because Aquarius full moon is very much a air event. And Pleiades, along with Orion-Rigel there, are really supporting this full moon and its integration of a higher perspective, a broader, a multidimensional perspective. And it starts with our own self-awareness of those components. And this highlights the second decan also of the mental domain. The second decan is 10 to 19 degrees of each sign. And this full moon takes place in the mental domain, second decan type of energy. And we have a lot of focus on the mental domain, the second decan in this chart. And we're going to highlight that as we go through this video. And I want to highlight Orion-Rigel a little bit before we move into the energetic themes. So do you have any alignments in your chart to Orion-Rigel? Orion-Rigel is associated with that process of what it takes for us to learn and teach ourselves about this inner beauty that we have. And it's a very introspective energy at this time due to all the retrogrades that we have in the chart right now. Orion-Rigel is in its lower frequencies associated with a suppressed sense of purpose. And as higher frequency become more available, this is where we step into a sense of inner abundance and well-being. So this beautiful trine here to the Aquarius full moon is an invitation to harness that inner abundance. And with that opportunity, we are invited to release lower frequencies that we may maintain in the mental domain that we are now ready to be releasing from our thought patterns. So this is now an opportune time also to revisit the routines and processes that we are maintaining for ourselves and in the collective to release what no longer serves us anymore. Because the Aquarian full moon is a way shower of the future. So now is the time to consider that change in terms of routines and processes. And we can do so with support here from Orion-Rigel to go deeper with our own sense of inner abundance and well-being. So yes, this Aquarius full moon is very much linked into the mental domain, the air signs, the invitation to shift our perspective on something, to be able to release lower frequencies and connect with higher frequency energy within ourselves to expand our sense of inner abundance and well-being. So do you have any galactic alignments to Orion-Rigel? If you don't know, download my Galactic Alignments reference guide and find out. All right, let's dive into the first energetic theme that I've called Commitment to Love. So here we have the second theme that I've called Commitment to Love. And here you can see the full moon again and a T-square to Juno at 18 degrees of Scorpio. And this is really a invitation to commit deeper to your own soul journey. Juno is associated with partnership and partnership with ourselves primarily, and our commitment and devotion to our own soul journey. Juno in Scorpio here is a very deep commitment to gaining more self-awareness of our soul journey. And these squares to Juno there are inviting us to step out of our comfort zone. Any square will feel a little uncomfortable sometimes, or it's a reminder of an area where we need more balance. So the T-square here at this full moon to Juno in Scorpio is this nudge to go deeper, a little bit deeper with the commitment to ourselves, primarily in partnership with our truth, and so that we can come deeper into that commitment to love. We also have two important sextiles here in this chart that I'd like to highlight. The first sextile is from the full moon to Ceres there at 16 degrees of Aries, conjunct TauCeti at 16 degrees of Aries. This sextile is highlighting the diligence. TauCeti is associated very much with diligence and highlighting that in terms of our way of maintaining our life. And Ceres is very much linked into how we take care of ourselves, how we are nurturing ourselves. This combination here in sextile it's an opportune time for support in this department of the mental domain to shift into more self-love simply. And in the sign of Aries there, it's all about ourselves and our own self-perspective or self-perception. I also want to highlight the second sextile there between Juno in Scorpio and Orcus conjunct the South Node. Orcus conjunct the South Node is this release of past karma. The South Node is inviting us and encouraging us to release past lower energies that we now are ready to upgrade. So this sextile is also encouraging us to make that new commitment to ourselves And in Virgo, Orcus conjunct the South Node in Virgo has very much to do with healing and healing energies for the betterment of our daily lives. And with that, we can also see that there are a couple of yods that are very directional energy for us at this time. Two quincunxes are often a suggestion for something that is in the process of moving forward or being developed. And here, this first yod is pointing to Orcus conjunct South Node there at 16 degrees of Virgo. And this combination of Ceres-TauCeti and the full moon is also a portal for this opening of the release of past lower energies. So that's how we can determine that energy signature of this Aquarius full moon. So if we continue, also the directional energy of another yod is with Orcus and South Node and Juno at the base, pointing to Ceres and TauCeti there in Aries. So this is another suggestion that if we focus on self-care, how we take care of ourselves and elevate that frequency with diligence, we are also supporting that deepened commitment and release of past karma, lower frequency energy. So this is a beautiful example of the interplay between dwarf planets, asteroids, and the full moon here at this Aquarius full moon. So I wanted to highlight, I know it's getting super busy here, but I wanted to highlight at the nodal axis, primarily South Node and Orcus there are in square with Orion-Rigel and the great attractor at 14 degrees of Sagittarius. So this builds a grand cross with the nodal axis as well, highlighting this Orcus conjunct South Node point to a great degree, and the importance of the focus of increasing the frequency around self-love, self-nurturing, making a commitment to our own path with diligence to step into a higher frequency to support ourselves in a different way, and that way open up to increased levels of inner abundance. So yes, there's a lot going on in the mental domain. The second decan of this chart is super busy, which means also that we are primarily working with thought patterns and becoming more aware of how our mental domain is influencing our daily lives and what it is in our daily lives that we may need to let go of to invite more of expanded, multidimensional perspective of who we truly are and how that can support us in an expansive, joyous way. So here, I just wanted to highlight the constellation of Cetus and TauCeti, the fixed star in the Cetus constellation. And Cetus is the whale and is associated with high frequency vibration. So TauCeti here is a very supportive energy conjunct Ceres here. Ceres is the epitome of nurturing, and often it's also associated with nurturing self and others and healing from past wounds in order to increase emotional well-being. And we also have Juno here, who is encouraging us at this Aquarius full moon to make a deeper commitment. Juno is a powerful partner to us so that we can navigate our own inner power and come to an increased and greater balance within. Orcus, the dwarf planet, is a brother to Pluto. He is supporting us with this alignment to the South Node in Virgo to truly release past lower energies. And it's a continuous process. Orcus moves very, very slowly. So the conjunction to the South Node is a significant placement there. But Orcus is here to support the entire permanent transformation as the brother to Pluto here. And it is a balance between self-love and the release of past lower energies at this time. So yes, this Aquarius full moon is a call for making that commitment to self-love, to go deeper with what our lower energies mean and how they impact our lives and what we have available to us instead. This commitment to love is something that we are all working on going deeper with. And this Aquarius full moon is suggesting that this is the direction we're going in, the direction of stepping into more self-love and allowing that nurturing of our inner garden to a greater extent. All right, so let's dive into the second energetic theme that I've called galactic self-integration next. So here we have the second theme that I've called galactic self-integration. And here you may recognize this kite that I have on the screen here for you. We have seen it before, but this time at this Aquarius full moon, Mars is conjunct the supergalactic center at 2 degrees of Libra there at the bottom, activating this powerful, powerful kite at 1 degree in respective signs here. And Pluto is at 2 degrees of Aquarius. So we have Neptune and Saturn in retrograde at 1 degree of Aries, conjunct Pegasus sheet. We have Uranus and Sedna at 1 degree of Gemini, conjunct the Pleiades at 0 degree of Gemini. And we also have Pluto at 2 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct Aquila Altair at 2 degrees of Aquarius. And now Mars, transiting Mars, is at 1 degree of Libra, conjunct supergalactic center at 2 degrees of Libra. Wow, this is a significant activation of this powerful kite, which is built upon that long-standing minor grand trine there at the top. So this Aquarius full moon is a significant activation of this powerful kite formation. What this kite represents is now a beginning of a new phase. Neptune and Saturn in retrograde, conjunct Pegasus sheet, is that call for inner liberation. And Pleiades, conjunct Uranus and Sedna there, is the galactic awakening, the expansion of our multidimensional self, where we are also now connecting with our guides, our soul families in a greater extent, and also at the collective level. And Pluto, conjunct Aquila Altair, is that high-level vision for the future and the Aquarian age. So at the very highest level, that's that minor grand trine is standing for. But now, activating by Mars, conjunct supergalactic center, is how are we going to relate to all of these expansions? Mars has an activation. It's like a punch in the gut to start to go deeper with this consideration, to see how we are relating to this new vision ourselves, but also how we relate to this multidimensional vision in relationships and how our relationships are mirroring that. So this is a significant release and initiation at the same time. We also have a second kite here, and this kite is activated by Mercury retrograde there at 4 degrees of Leo currently. So Mercury retrograde will station direct only 2 days after this full moon at 4 degrees of Leo. And this is also why this is so highlighted at this time. This kite becomes active. And the kite is made up of Uranus, Sedna, and Pleiades there at the top, Neptune, Saturn, and Pegasus sheet, and also Mercury retrograde there. And at the bottom of the kite, we have Centaurus, Alpha Centauri at 29 degrees of Scorpio. And this kite represents, I feel, is that cosmic awakening of how that inner conversation is now changing, how we can support our inner conversation with our spiritual self, our spiritual inner garden in a different way. We're shifting from a mental conversation to a heart-centered conversation, an intuitive, spiritual, universal conversation within. And this is what fuels this kite. Mercury retrograde at 4 degrees of Leo there is that heart-to-heart conversation with ourselves that is now expanding into more of a spiritual, universal conversation within. And here I have placed the 2 minor grand trines here. And also what that builds is a yod focusing on Haumea, Atlantis, asteroid Atlantis there at 2 degrees of Scorpio now, conjunct also Shapley attractor at 2 degrees of Scorpio. Wow. This is a significant opportunity at this Aquarius full moon to unlock dormant soul keys of higher frequency that we are now meant to connect with and come into relationship with within, first of all. And it all points to the qualities of Haumea and the ancient soul memories for many of us that are associated with Atlantis and other ancient civilizations at the soul level. The Shapley attractor brings in a multiverse of universal wisdom here, and the focus of this yod is right there at the Shapley attractor conjunct Haumea and Atlantis. And everything here at 1 degree is a powerful reminder that we are in the beginning of something very new. And in the members only video here on this channel, we are going to dive deeper into this unlocking of soul keys based on this energy. And there's another component to this. And next, I'm going to show you a very busy chart, but I'd like you to highlight also and focus. But I'd like you to notice Chiron here and Chiron's placement in this chart. So here we have the 2 kites fully drawn, plus the yod pointing to Haumea and Atlantis and Shapley attractor. And in opposition to Haumea, Atlantis, and Shapley attractor is Chiron, now retrograde at 27 degrees of Aries, conjunct the Andromeda galaxy at 27 degrees of Aries. This opposition here is what unlocks a process for integration and unlocking of our galactic self. And this is what we're going to dive into in the members only video. Chiron will be in retrograde until January 2nd, 2026. So if you're interested in joining us in the membership, look for the link in the pinned comment or the description box to join us. So here, I just wanted to highlight also Haumea and Atlantis, the asteroid Atlantis and dwarf planet Haumea. This energy signature conjunct Shapley attractor is a amplified, deep, multi-dimensional energy. And we can pick up the qualities of Haumea. Haumea is the higher octave of Neptune. And Haumea, in many ways, stands for this bridge, this integration between the cosmos and the earthly. So Haumea is very much speaking to perhaps the recall of ancient civilizations and ways of being and living at those times, because Atlantis here, conjunct Shapley attractor as well, is a marker for the awakening of ancient soul memories at this time, supported by Neptune and Saturn there at 1 degree of Aries, and also Uranus at 1 degree of Gemini, supported by Pleiades and Pegasus sheet, respectively. And I wanted to highlight also the Andromeda galaxy there, M31 at 27 degrees of Aries, and the powerful sisterhood that we have with Andromeda galaxy being the closest galaxy to our Milky Way galaxy here. It's a galaxy that many of us at the soul level are very familiar with, having been using it for multi-dimensional travel or coming in from other universes. It's a portal for multi-dimensional travel that many of us at the soul level have been using. The Andromeda galaxy is associated with magnetism, beauty, and all the divine feminine aspects that we are here to integrate within a very divine masculine type of energy signature here on Earth at this time. So Andromeda Galaxy is the archetypal energy of the divine feminine that is symbolically, and it's said that Milky Way galaxy and Andromeda galaxy are on its way to merge with each other. And this may be a symbolic way of our own process in merging into a more whole being, or merging in the cycle of coming into wholeness and oneness. So yes, this Aquarius full moon is one big invitation to integrate a broader multidimensional perspective. And how do we do that? It starts with increasing our self-awareness of who we truly are, and the truth that comes with that can only be felt from within. We can absorb a lot of information with the mental domain, but the experience of that integration comes from within. And that is one of the biggest messages of this Aquarius full moon, is that we can only integrate so much through the mental domain. And then the heart frequency takes over, where we are aligning with universal wisdom at a completely new level. And that is also the way showing energy of this Aquarius full moon and the direction we're going towards. And Chiron is helping us significantly to integrate this over the next 6 months, all the way into the first couple of days of 2026. And in the members only video, we'll go deeper with this path to galactic self integration. I also want to note that Chiron is the only one in the third decan at 27 degrees of Aries. All the other bodies here in this chart, at least the ones that I pulled in for this, is in the first and second decan. So the guidance from Chiron at this time at the spiritual level is significant. All right, let's dive into the third energetic theme, which I called Divine Feminine Expansion. So here we have the third theme that I've called Divine Feminine Expansion. And here we're going to focus on now Quawar, that you may recall from the previous Leo New Moon video, conjunct Lyra Alatfar there at 9 and 10 degrees of Capricorn, respectively. Now, what I wanted to highlight is that Venus now is in opposition with Quawar, and at the Leo new moon, Jupiter was in opposition, but now Venus is there at 10 degrees of Cancer in opposition. So Venus is here to help us take action on that divine feminine expansion. As you may recall from the Leo new moon, the video right before this one, is that Quawar represents this spirit consciousness that is rooted in spiritual practice and embodied movement, expressed through song, dance, ritual, etc. And Lyra Alatfar is very much linked into light language and high frequency communication. And Venus now in opposition here is asking us to honor this divine feminine qualities within ourselves and really come into balance with how we are utilizing our divine feminine qualities. Jupiter was there at the new moon to expand our awareness. Now Venus is here to kind of, okay, it's time to step into and to allow this in practice into our daily life. So Venus is here to really help us ground this in our daily lives. We also want to take a look at where Jupiter is at this Aquarius full moon, and Jupiter is now conjunct Canis Major-Sirius A at 14 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter is at 13 degrees of Cancer, and there is a significant conjunction between Venus and Jupiter on August 12th at 13 degrees of Cancer, conjunct Sirius A there. Anytime Sirius A is highlighted, it comes with spiritual wisdom and the remembrance of our soul journey associated with Sirius A. So do you have alignments to Sirius A in your chart? This is also a very much associated with the Atlantean era, if you will, on Earth. And many ancient soul wisdom practices and theories are associated with Sirius A that were also practiced in ancient civilizations such as Atlantis on Earth. So this connection here, that expansion, and Venus and Jupiter together at this time, in and around Aquarius full moon here, particularly that conjunction on August 12th is important. This is an expansion of that soul memory where many of us are connecting back and remembering talents and gifts and other expressions that needs to be integrated within our experience here in our life today. So the Sirius dual star system, Sirius A and B, and here we are connecting with Sirius A at 14 degrees of Cancer. The highlight on Sirius here, Sirius A at this Aquarius full moon, is a significant marker for the awakening of those dormant wisdom abilities to go beyond our five senses and utilize our heart frequency, our intuitive abilities, and expand upon those very much divine feminine qualities that are highlighted here at this Aquarius full moon. So yes, Jupiter and Venus are continuing to have an important role traversing the sign of Cancer, highlighting the Sirius dual star system here, very much so at this Aquarius full moon, in our path to involve more of a embodied frequency of joy at this time. Sirius A is very much associated also with physical healing mastery. So this combination of Quaoar influence in opposition with Venus and Jupiter there linked into Sirius is allowing us to be balancing ourselves at the physical levels as well, through song, dance, ritual, body movement. So that might be a recommendation to really highlight that for yourself at this Aquarius full moon here. Are you curious about your own galactic alignments? Download my galactic alignments reference guide. There's a link in the pinned comment and description box below, should you want to integrate this Aquarius full moon energy some more. And this first question is about Orion-Rigel, Juno, Ceres, and Orcus conjunct South Node there. What commitment are you going deeper with in your life at this time? Because now is the opportune time to refine any commitments that you've made to yourself, particularly when it comes to expanding your sense of inner abundance and self-love. The second question is that Yod highlighting Haumea, Atlantis, and Shapley Attractor in support of the expansion and integration of your galactic self. So what are you integrating? What is that bigger picture? What are you naturally connecting with? Or where can you increase your self-awareness around your galactic self and your soul journey? Of course, I'm always inviting you to have a reading with me, but what you are drawn to is also very much a guide at this time. So what parts of your ancient soul wisdom are you connecting with deeper at this time, at this Aquarius full moon? The third question is speaking to all that knowledge that you have within yourself at the mental level. How are you integrating that into embodiment? So Venus, now in opposition to Quaoar here, is seeking your engagement in this integration of all the knowledge that you carry in your mental domain. And so that can really be incorporated in your physical vessel and coming through your physical vessel. So that is an invitation. how are you integrating all the knowledge that you carry into your physical vessel at this time, and how are you expressing it? And this may take a little bit of time, but this is a portal, an opening to this entire process, now likely taking place within the next 6 months, all the way to when Chiron is going direct on January 2nd at 22 degrees of Aries. So this is an invitation to work with all of this energy. And should you want support, help to navigate this integration phase, reach out to me, get a reading, or work with me one-on-one. You can find me on my website, oricasullivan.com. I am so grateful that you're here all the way to the end. And if you're watching or listening to this before August 2nd, 2025, you are invited to the Galactics Summit. The Galactics Summit is hosted by Kara Goodwin, and she is inviting you also to upgrade to the VIP level to enjoy a number of gifts that are shared by the powerful speakers that are at this summit. So I leave a link for you to sign up for a free ticket in the pinned comment or the description box below. Thank you so much for watching and listening to New Light Living Podcast. I'm Ulrika Sullivan. I'm an intuitive spiritual life coach and a galactic astrologer. I can't wait to come back with another video for you soon. I am so grateful for you. Take care. Bye-bye.